They're making the Second Amendment an affluent right and preventing those who cannot afford the time, money, and effort to exercise their right. If you've been following Colorado politics, especially in the Second Amendment realm, you know that there's a new tax law coming up in April. 6.5% excise tax on top of everything else. There's a new concealed carry handgun law coming up in July, which, in fact, in El Paso County, they've kind of already enacted that because in order to get an appointment with the sheriff, you have to get one past 1 July. So you have to take the new course, which is an 8-hour course. And of course, that takes time from an instructor, which means that's more money out of your pocket. The new vehicle storage law, which is already in effect. The existing storage law within your home, all of these things take money from the individual, obviously, right? So those are all things that take money from the individual who wants to exercise their Second Amendment right. The Colorado General Assembly wants to make your right, our rights, so expensive that only wealthy individuals can be free. That's it. They're trying to make the rights so expensive, specifically the Second Amendment right, so expensive that only rich individuals, wealthy individuals, people with money are the only ones who are actually free. So the Colorado General Assembly's oppression of its people is in the form of money or lack thereof. Meaning, if you can't take the time off to watch your son play baseball or football or watch your daughter do cheerleading, if you can't take the time off to do that, guess what? You can't take the time off to exercise your rights. Because you're a peon. You're no good. You're a nobody. You're not wealthy. You're not part of the elite class. That's what that means. So we'll get into the courses here in a minute, but the courses that one would have to take with this bill would cost upwards of, I don't know, $300. That's on the cheap side, by the way. Well, one, you have to, there's two different ways you can do it. You can get your hunter safety card and then do a 4-hour course, 4-hour safety course, firearm safety course. Or you can do a 4-hour safety course and then a 12-hour extended safety course. Oh, by the way, your 8-hour concealed carry course, yeah, that don't fucking count. You see what they're doing here? They're making, like I said, they're making it so expensive. You and I might not be able to afford the training, much less the equipment, the range fee, and all that other stuff, just to exercise our right. So the firearm isn't cheap. The firearm training isn't cheap. Us instructors, we have to pay, obviously we have to pay insurance. We have to get some equipment, for example, targets or target backings or target stands or whatever. We have to keep up on our certificates to make sure that we can actually prove that we're an instructor. For example, NRA certificate, a USCCA certificate, tactical hive certificates. Like, being an instructor costs money, but it's so we have the credentials to actually teach. So back to my original thing, it's going to cost upwards of $300 at least for the two courses. That's 2 courses. That's 16 total hours that's going to cost to take the basic and the extended firearm safety course. 16 hours. That means it's 2 full days. You get my drift? So at a minimum wage rate here in Colorado of $14.81 times 16 hours, the cost of both courses would be $236.96. $236.96 for minimum wage for both courses. That's not to include the gas, the insurance, the materials to use, the time it takes to build the class, advertisement, etc. So like I said, at a minimum, at the very bare minimum, we're looking at $300 for both courses. You can call it a package deal if you wanted to. On top of that, if this thing is passed, extra fees associated with the cost will come. The fee for the eligibility card, guess what? That's a $39.50 cost to you in order to get your background check so you can get your eligibility card. Instructors have to charge, on top of that, $10 for the Colorado Parks and Wildlife. So that's like an additional $50 on top of the fee that the instructor would charge you originally. So now we're looking at $350 for both courses.